Hey there folks, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about ICC profiles. What exactly are ICC profiles? How do they relate to us in print? Where do we go to install and find and install new ICC profiles? And ultimately, how do we use ICC profiles to get a better, more accurate representation of how our digital file is going to look like when it's printed? So if I go to the Wikipedia page for an ICC profile, the literal definition is a set of data that characterizes a color input or output device or color space according to standards used by the International Color Consortium, the ICC. Profiles describe the color attributes of a particular device or viewing requirement by defining a mapping between the device source or target color space and a profile connection space, or PCS. So in layman's terms, a profile is essentially a pair of mappings, one from one color space to the PCS and a second from the PCS to the color space. So here you can see in this little window here that there are two colors being rendered here, two ICCs. So this is more than likely a RGB to a CMYK, and that's what we can say up here, RGB and CMYK color spaces. So your monitor or your phone or whatever you're using to your TV or whatever, if you're using however you're viewing this video, uses RGB color, right? So no matter if our design is done in RGB or CMYK, literally it's being displayed to our eyes in RGB color because that's what monitors are set to. But print is in CMYK. Now there are situations where there's extended gamuts and things like that, but in layman's terms, CMYK is how you define print, right? So where you see these two colors, you have different color gamuts based off of whether it's RGB or CMYK. Now, RGB has a higher color gamut than what physically can be displayed with CMYK colors. So what you see on your screen is not necessarily what you're going to see when it's printed. The easiest way to illustrate this is to show a design that I have here in Adobe Illustrator. And these are RGB colors. If I just click on these, you can see my colors setup is RGB. These are all like 255 blue. This is a mixture to get yellow and cyan, and no color here for black, which is represented by 000 for RGB. Now if I look at my file, if I go up to File and I go to Color Mode, I'm in RGB color. And if I go to View and Proof Setup, I'm currently working in Apple RGB, right? So let's say that this file is ready. I'm going to go ahead and export this as a PDF so that we can send this off to be printed. I'll just use the Illustrator default here. So the design is open in Adobe Acrobat now, and it looks exactly how we have it set up here in Illustrator. However, if I go into print production and if I choose my output preview, you'll notice that all the colors now are they're very muted. They've shifted. They're a lot different than what my design looked like. And that is because of the simulation profile that I'm using, which is US Web Coded Swap v2. So Acrobat, with the output preview, attempts to give you a more accurate look of how your file will actually be used up, based off of whatever ICC profile it's using. So if I go back to this Apple RGB profile, this basically turns it right back to what it was in Illustrator. But if I use a different profile, even this one here, which is also an RGB profile, this is for one of my monitors, the color shifts ever so slightly. Not very much, but it does, right? If I look here, you can see that this is, oops, I'm in Illustrator, I'm sorry. In Acrobat, come on, back in Acrobat, there we go. If I shift this to this HP27F, you'll notice that these colors shift every so slightly. And that's because that ICC profile is set to one of my monitors here. My monitor is different from the monitor that you're using, right? It's different if you're viewing it on your phone, or if you're viewing this on a TV or a projector or something like that. And the same goes for anything that is going to be set for print. I have different ICC profiles here that are basically like defaulted in with Acrobat. So if I click on web coded and if I click on newsprint, you'll notice that these colors shift even more. And that is because in this case, if I use newsprint, it's going to be printed on a very thin piece of material, right? Newsprint is very, very thin. So it can't handle a lot of ink. You'll notice that the total area coverage here is set at 131%. Anything more and this would start to look muddy, or the ink wouldn't dry, because physically the paper can only hold so much ink. If I switch this to something else like a Grayskull 2006, this total area coverage is much higher, 163%. And that's because this ICC profile is attempting to represent something that's being printed on a coated piece of paper, for instance, right? Whatever the output intent is, this is what the simulation profile is attempting to show us in Acrobat. So what you see is not always what you get, right? This is what I see in my design, but when this goes to print, this is how it prints. So it's important as a designer or somebody who, sets jobs up for print to understand that what you see on your screen is not necessarily what you're going to get, and that is why it's always important to open everything up in your output preview to get a final look at what or how things are going to look like when they're being printed. Now, it's important to have communication with your print service provider to understand what ICC profile they're using. You have ICC profiles, like I said, for your monitor, for your home printer. It's different for a toner machine than it might be for whatever they're using for their offset equipment, or for a flexo printer, for instance. So it's always important to have that conversation with your print service provider to understand what your expectations are based off of what their actual ICC profile that they're going to be using. If you don't know what it is, you can always just kind of default to something like a US web coded swap v2. This is just like a standard CMYK profile. And you'll notice that even though in my design here, as it shifts, I haven't really shifted anything with the actual design. I haven't changed anything just by changing this profile. If I click on my object inspector and just click on any one of these color swatches, you'll notice that the device space still remains under device RGB. So I haven't changed this to a CMYK design by any means. This is still my design, my original design, but when it goes to print, this is what it's going to look like. Now again, what you see on your screen is still not the physical media that's going to be printed on, whatever it is, whether it be a toner device or whether it be an offset press. If you're ever in, a situation where you need to hit very specific colors, it's always best to do a hard copy proof. Now, I know it's probably going to be more expensive, but if it's a color critical situation, that's always my recommendation, based on someone who's worked in print for 20 plus years. It's always important to know what device it's being printed on, how it's being printed, and get a sample if it's super critical. That way you can always compare the physical media to what you see on your screen, and you can adjust it accordingly. So I hope that answers some questions as far as what ICC profiles are and how they relate to the simulation profile here in Acrobat, so that we can get a better, closer representation of what our actual design is going to look like. So let's say, for instance, that you've had the conversation with your print service provider and you need to go ahead and you need to, they tell you, we use Grayskull 2013 as our ICC profile for our offset printing press, for instance. Well, if I go in here, I don't have Grayskull 2013. I have coded Grayskull 2006, but I don't have 2013. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out to the web, and I'm going to go to this website here. Let me go back here. This is the International Color Consortium website where you can find ICC profile registries. This is registry.color.org/profile registry. In here, you'll be able to find that specific profile that we're looking for. In this case, a Gray Coal 2013. Let's find it here. I think I just missed it. Here it is right here. Gray Coal 2013, right? If I click on this, this gives me some more information about, what the profile is, the total area coverage that it can represent here. So again, this is important if it's going to be on a coated piece of material or uncoated piece of material. Your print service provider may say, like our total area coverage, for our printing press, we can go up to 320%. So that's why we use Gray Coal 2013. It may be different for different situations, for different media. It's always best to talk to those folks and get that information from them. But again, let's say this is what they recommend. So as you can see here, it says printing process definition, any CMYK process such as offset, screen, inkjet, flexo, etc. So this is what we need for our to install on our system. Down here at the bottom, this is our profile. So I'm going to click on that and it'll download it to our downloads folder or our desktop. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to close out my Acrobat here. I'm going to actually quit it because I'm going to install that. So let me get back here. And here's where you need to install these profiles. If you're on Windows, here's where you're at. If you're on Mac, this is where we need to go. So since I'm using Mac, I'm going to go ahead and I'll create a new Finder window here. And I'll go to my hard drive. I'll go to Library. I will go to Application Support, to Adobe, Color, and Profiles. And so in here, I'm just going to drag this on over. And so now I have my ICC profile installed, and I'll open this RGB PDF file back up. And here we have it back in Adobe Acrobat. And if I go back into my print production, into my output preview area, I now have that profile installed down here below for Gray Coal 2013. So now if I click on that, this shows me, my total area coverage for this color is 185. My mix is 185. And again, this is not necessarily what I'm looking at on my monitor is exactly how it's going to print because, you're talking about your monitor, which is uncalibrated based off of, what is calibrated at that print shop. But this gives me a much more accurate representation of what this is going to look like than what this looks like in our original file, our original RGB file, right? So it's important to understand that relationship. So that's how you install a profile. There's also, if I go back in here to, this is ICC, there's lots of different ICC profiles. Maybe your print service provider asks for a different one. If you're in Europe, you can use the ECI website, so eci.org, and then you come down here to your download section, and this has a whole bunch of different profiles available to you here. Europe uses different ICC profiles compared to what we use here in the United States, and that is because printing conditions are different here than they are over there, right? Different temperature, humidity, whatever the case is. Each color is different for the different paper types. Now again, if you're talking about ICC profiles, if you're using something like maybe for instance like an HP latex machine, right? There are certain ICC profiles that you can download that are media specific. So if you're using a let's say I don't know, like a wall graphic, like a piece of vinyl or something like that. That has its own set of ICC profiles. So that is more in relationship to how it's going to be done at the actual print service provider. and that is used with their RIP system, with their color management system. So those are available, usually based off of the paper supplier. So though the paper supplier will have an ICC profile that is set for that specific printer type, and that's usually because, especially like with wide format machines, you don't necessarily have just CMYK. You might have CMYK plus other colors. So if I go back into Acrobat here, if I was using a printer, for instance, that had, let's say like an Xerox Iridesce, right? That's a 6-color machine. So you have your standard CMYK, plus you can put in things like gold and silver and other things like a fluorescent color, orange or something like that. So they may have an extended gamut available. So that may have a ICC profile that's specific to that machine that gives you a expanded, maybe a little bit more towards RGB. The color that I can achieve in CMYK is not as strong as I can achieve in RGB, right? Because we're talking about the actual gamut. These CMYK plus printers, you could call them, have an extended gamut to them. So maybe I can't achieve this blue, but it'll be much brighter than what this can be achieved based on just CMYK values alone. Now, this also talks about, we talk about using Pantone colors in printing, and that's a totally different situation than this because Pantone color is going to be represented by the physical ink of that color. It's coming from a swatch book. There's a specific ink mixture that happens that represents that color that's on that physical swatch book. So if you are designing, in just 1 or 2 colors, if you can, instead of using CMYK or RGB, sometimes it might be better to use a Pantone color because that's always going to be the same no matter what kind of device you're using, right? They're going to go off of a physical swatch and try to match that color to that actual ink color that comes from Pantone. So I hope this gives everyone a little bit better understanding of what ICC profiles are, how the simulation profile works here in Acrobat, where you can go to download ICC profiles, and how to install them. If you have questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. This is basically a video that I did based off of some responses that I got in some of my previous videos, and I wanted to answer some of those questions. Hopefully that did answer them, and hopefully if you have further questions, I'll be able to answer those for you as well. I do this channel to help people out because there's not a lot of pre-press related videos out there, and I think it's important for designers and pre-press folks to understand a lot of these concepts and figure out how do we get better color, how do we get better prints, and understanding ICC profiles is a very important part of that process. So thanks for watching, folks. Hopefully you can give the video a thumbs up if you found it useful. If you want to support the channel a little bit further, always check out my Patreon page. I'll have that link down in the description of the video below. Thanks for watching, folks, and I will catch you on the next one.